Welcome to the second India-Australia 2+2 Ministerial Dialogue. I would like to invite the Minister of Defence, Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh ji, to make the opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Jaishankar ji. Excellencies, Mr. Richard Marles, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence, Australia, and Ms. Penny Wong, Minister of Foreign Affairs. It is indeed our pleasure to welcome you and your delegation to India for the second India-Australia 2+2 Ministerial Dialogue. I thank you for traveling to New Delhi for our meeting today, which I am sure will give further impetus to our already strong relationship. India and Australia are pursuing a comprehensive strategic partnership. Cooperation between our two countries has been consistently deepening as well as diversifying. More so since our inaugural 2+2 ministerial meeting in New Delhi in August 2021. Whether it is defense, trade, education, science and technology, or people-to-people ties, we continue to see an upward trajectory across all spheres of our bilateral cooperation. There is a consensus on both sides that is a strong India-Australia partnership will augur well, not just for the mutual benefit of both our countries, but also for the overall peace, security, and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific. The commitment towards further strengthening of our bilateral relationship has been reaffirmed at the highest level every time our Prime Ministers have met, either for summit-level talks or at multilateral fora like the Quad and the G20. Excellencies, defense in particular has become one of the most important pillars of our strategic partnership. I have had the opportunity to take forward some important initiatives with Minister Marles through our bilateral engagements. Earlier today, we also had the opportunity to discuss our bilateral defense cooperation at length. I am sure that through this meeting today, we will move ahead to take this partnership to the next level. Thank you very much, Excellency Marles. You have the floor, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. Singh, Mr. Jaishankar. It is an enormous pleasure for the Foreign Minister and I to be here today. And it was an incredible privilege for me to be at the game last night. And can I thank India and commend India for the hosting of an incredible tournament over the last 6 weeks. It put cricket on display to the world. And I think for those of us who are cricket enthusiasts, and both the Foreign Minister and I are in that category, the historic pilgrimage when it comes to cricket has been to go and see Lords. But in a contemporary sense, the home of cricket now really is in India. And I think for those of us who love cricket, the pilgrimage that we all want to make now is to this country. And it was just a fulfilment of a lifelong dream for me to be able to actually watch cricket being played here in India. And the shared love of this sport by both our countries, I think, embodies the state of our relationship. We are two countries which share history, we share democratic traditions, we share the rule of law, freedom of speech. We share this in a world where our strategic alignment is greater than it has ever been. For both of us, China is our biggest trading partner. For both of us, China is our biggest security anxiety. And we share an ocean, and in that sense, we are neighbours. And there has never been a more important time for our two countries to be working together. And from our perspective, we cannot overstate the importance of this relationship. We really look forward to talking more about that strategic landscape in our meeting today. We look forward to talking more about ways in which we can cooperate around maritime domain awareness and more about the ways in which we can cooperate with our diplomacy, particularly in the region that surrounds us. This year, Minister, as you said, has been a big year in terms of defence. We've seen the first visit of an Indian submarine to Australia. We've seen greater cooperation between our P8s, the highest tempo of defence exercises in our country's history. All of that speaks to, I think, the appetite and the ambition on both sides to be engaged more in defence and to see that as being very much part of the bedrock of the bilateral relationship. So we are enormously pleased to be here. We really look forward to the conversations that we're about to have, and we very much thank you at a very busy time for you both, we know, for having the 2+2 today. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister Singh, Jai, it's a real honour to be here for the 2+2. It's been a big year in the bilateral relationship. I think since we were elected, some 19 ministerial visits to India by our government. We've obviously had Prime Minister Modi's state visit to Australia, which was so welcomed. We've done a lot of work together bilaterally, and we hope to do more again today. I think what I would emphasise is that we value deeply the bilateral relationship, economic ties, the two-way trade and investment, the people-to-people links, the climate initiatives, particularly green steel that we're working on together. But to again underline what we all know, which is this is a partnership which is consequential for us, but it is crucial for our region. And we see you, India, as central, crucial to the sort of region we continue to work for, peaceful, stable, prosperous, in which sovereignty is respected. And we look forward in this discussion to going further on the ways in which we can both work to deliver that. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me also echo the sentiment that it's been an exceptional year for our relationship, and I see that our Prime Ministers have actually met 5 times this year, thrice in each other's countries and on 2 other occasions as well. And we've had our first ever annual summit in March this year, so that also is a very noteworthy development. When one looks at milestones, the Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, ECTA, entered into force last December, and we are seeing its economic implications unfold this year in terms of a trade increase. The Migration and Mobility Partnership Arrangement was signed, and we reached a mutual recognition of educational qualifications. Both are very important steps, I think, for the further development of our relationship. And we can see today a 1 million strong Indian community and 100,000 plus Indian students really form a living bridge between our 2 countries. When it comes to the 2+2, I'd like to make a few points for our collective consideration. One, that our bilateral relationship has certainly grown rapidly, but that it has larger implications for the region. And a lot of other countries look to us and to our relationship in many ways as a factor of stability and security. Second, this has happened at a time when there is increasing uncertainty in the world. We are seeing sharper polarization, deeper stresses, and today, while it is important to ensure that the routine is there for the region to feel safer, so we have to build and we have to act for stability on a daily basis. Third, we do face exceptional challenges, some regional, some global. Many of them involve challenges to the rule of law, and as comprehensive strategic partners, it is important to also plan for those exceptions. And these could be man-made exceptions, but these could be HADR situations where, again, it's important that we have a culture of cooperation in order to respond. For our partnership in the Quad format has been very beneficial for the Indo-Pacific region and indeed for our own bilateral relationship. Of course, we work with a few other countries in trilaterals as well. Trilaterals with Indonesia and France come to mind. So once again, I join my senior colleague, Raksha Mantri ji, in welcoming you both, Deputy Prime Minister Marles and Foreign Minister Wong, to India, and I look forward to a very, very productive 2+2.